You guys and your tier lists on who you like best. I have a tier list that's not nearly as subjective. I'm doing scientific research on the squishability of D4DJ characters. So, welcome to How Squishy is Each D4DJ Character. Right off the bat, I don't think this one needs explanation. She's like the quintessential squish. She's got that, fue factor. And for Maho, I think I'm gonna give her a B tier. She's not particularly squishable in my opinion, but she's not unsquishable either, you know? Like, she could be squished. She's not like gonna bite you for it, but she's also not like particularly prone to being squished either. And I think Mooney goes in A tier. Very squishy. With a diet of junk food and like the constant puffing of cheeks, Mooney makes for a very good squishing specimen. As for Ray, you can call me crazy on this one, but I'm gonna put her in the A tier as well. That rich girl aura with the meek personality makes for prime squish material. Not Rinku level, of course, but squishable nonetheless. I think Kyoko goes in the B tier. I mean, as a cool character with a cute side, squishability isn't zero, it never is. But it's not super high in my opinion either, you know? And for Shinobu, I think we all know she goes into the S tier. As long as you don't do it during a game, you probably will survive. And for Yuka, Sushi Tempura, B tier. She did let the Rinky Dink touch her abs in first mix, so there's that, but I don't know how down she would be to having her face squished. For Asura, she is quite the lovely girl, but does not lend herself much to being squished, you know? Too much of that untouchable vibe, you know? As for Ibuki, I think she deserves an A tier. She might be a musclehead, but she's a squishable musclehead. Goddamn. Like I said, being a cool character with a cute side definitely gets you some squish points, and Ibuki is like 80% cute. Okay, Toa is peak squish. Like, easy S tier. She's like 50% crepe, so physically, probably top 3 squishiest, easy. And she's got that squishy, not quite gremlin energy, you know? And for Noah, she seems more of a squisher than a squishy, so I think she goes in B tier. Like I said, not a lot of people are totally unsquishable, but she's not particularly squishy. As for Rika, oh my god, she's so carefree, I bet she wouldn't even question why she was getting her face squished. Easy A tier. For Marika, I don't think you physically could squish Marika. Like, the aura she gives off, like, it's canon that she's too good for the people around her. Maybe tracksuit Marika could be squished. But I don't know about just Marika in general, you know? Maybe B tier. Sari is, oh my god, easy S tier squishability. Really high fue factor. Honestly, a sleeper pick. Sometimes someone who's in a slump needs a really good cheek squishing to snap out of it. I think I'm going to put Dahlia in the D tier. Squishing Dahlia is a highly dangerous endeavor, and you will die, and probably not painlessly. I think Miyu goes into the A tier. Not saying she's not S tier squish material, it's just that rather than getting squished, she's more likely to get cheesed. Haruna goes into the S tier. When she goes from Incho to Flustered, I think she is very squishable. And thanks to our Walnut, that is like 90% of the time. And speaking of the Walnut, I think our favorite mischievous Walnut gets a very good cheek squishing for her efforts. And honestly, you know, all of Lyra Lily is pretty squishy, and I think Miko is no exception. Tsubaki was canonically squished. I don't think anybody is going to debate this S tier's placement. And Nagisa's got that sort of lovable dum-dum energy, so she gets pretty squishy up there with A tier. As for Hiro, I don't think anybody will question why I am doing this. For Aoi, she's not the type to murder you over getting squished, but I don't think Aoi is very squish friendly either, you know? Oh boy, Call of Artemis. Let's just rename this tier for you, hey? There we go. So that means you, and you can all be in this tier, because how are you gonna squish someone's cheeks who is 3,000 miles away? I think Neo goes into the D tier. She would definitely murder you on the spot. Some people would pay that price, but I personally am okay. As for Sophia, I feel like she has several fantasies about getting squished by now, so there you go, eh? And for Elsie, I mean, despite her squishable appearance, I think she's got a bit too much pride to be squished. And with an army of bodyguards, I doubt any squishing will be happening. So that means C tier. For Veronica, I mean, she would probably punt you if you tried, right? But like, I guess there's a small possibility she doesn't punt you. I think Michiru goes into the S tier. I think I might be giving S tier placements out a little too easily, but Michiru is very prone to squishes. Easily down on herself, very loud, high fue factor, and a lack of general awareness makes her a very top candidate. Now for Cocoa, like Noah, it seems like she'd be the one doing the squishing, not the squishy. But unlike Noah, she's got some squish factor herself. Pouting plays a significant role in squish factor, so I'll put her in the A tier. Speaking of pouting, by the way, I think Hayate goes into the S tier. The reason Cocoa pouts so much is because of this top tier squish specimen right here. She's just such a menace to society, or more specifically Cocoa, that she's also been canonically squished. Sheer obliviousness carries her to the S tier. And for Lumina, I think she gets her own tier. Because, I'm sorry if you didn't know this already, she is an AI and she physically cannot be squished. So, those of you with a keen eye might have noticed that I haven't included Saki yet, but I actually have, I can guarantee you that. Because she deserves her own separate tier. Like, Saki is the most adorable thing to ever grace this earth. Have you seen her offering Noah a lap pillow? She was just willing to, just like that. Literally, no persuasion needed. She was just like, yep, sure, okay, why not? God, if Noah didn't have an addiction to cuteness already, Saki would have given her one. Like, god damn. She's just so squishable. And if any of you disagree with these placements, you know, just send me a comment. If you manage to convince me, I'll adjust the tier list. I will be posting the fully updated tier list next week in a community post.